Dougie Walters.
Oh, man.
Hey?
Well, you know.
Do you know when he was born? You know what year?
Just after the war, I think. 48.
45.
Yeah.
You go on, buddy.
He was my hero growing up.
Everyone loved him.
He was my cricket hero because he was laconic, had a ciggy, loved a beer, eat a pie, play cards in the dressing room.
Did he gamble at all?
Yeah, loved a punt. Yeah, still loves a punt. But my two sporting heroes were him and Johnny Sattler from the Rabbitohs.
Look at that.
And
Look at his face. Eh?
Yeah, in my first season, 1980-81, it was his last season. So I got to play my first season with Doug. It was his last season. I just couldn't believe I was in the dressing room with Doug Walters, sitting in the dressing room, going out and having a beer with him, having a feed within the team. It was surreal. And I don't see him as much now. But when I do, and he goes like this, Widow or Wits, g'day Wits. I go, hey Dougie, or Freddie. Freddie's one of his nicknames. And Bicky is another one, like a biscuit.
Wow.
I don't know why Freddie and Bicky. But I say to him, you don't get it. You're still my hero, man. After all these years, you're my number one hero. And he's so coy about it. Very quiet man. If you sit round and he knows you, he'll tell you some of the great cricket stories. But I've seen him sit there amongst people, and he doesn't smoke anymore. But in the old days, just have a ciggy and drink, say nothing until someone goes, oh, Doug, what do you think about that? And he goes, not much. That'd be the answer.
Wow.
So still typical country, come from Dungog up the Hunter Valley. But for me to play my first season with my cricket hero.
Yeah, can't explain it. Eh?
Oh, just talking about it now, and it was 1980-81. I mean, I just couldn't believe he was sitting there. The very first night of my first game, I don't tell this story too often, but he goes, do you want to come out for a beer? And I went, okay. So we go out, we go back to the hotel, or the motel. We're staying in a motel. Go back to the motel, had dinner, and then he says, come with me. So we had a couple of beers in this pub, and he knew the publican, so he didn't pay for them. Then we went to the Underground in Brisbane, which was a bit of a haunt for the cricketers and sportsmen. He knew the doorman as well, so we're straight in. And before we knew it, he's got this drink card, with $50 on it. But back in 1980-81, that's a fucking shitload of drinks. We drunk that. We got another one. We drunk that. Can't remember much except getting poked in the chest. When I woke up in the back of the cab, the cab driver said, Mr. Walters said you'd pay the cab. So Dougie just got out and said, wake the young bloke up, he'll pay. And the next morning at breakfast there was Doug looking $1 zillion, and I was feeling fucking really hungover. But that was my first night of Shell cricket, and how insane to go out with my hero and have a few beers.
What a memory.
And let him leave me crashed in the back seat of the cab to pay the bill.